Stay a while and listen.
Take two for the day, because I do not know how sound works.
Yes.
This is the AOP podcast.
But you know what? No one would have known, Ross. Nobody would have known.
You got to build a relationship.
Build a relationship.
Relationships are built on trust.
I hear you.
People need to trust us that we are going to tell them things they don't need to know.
Yes. Yeah.
Like this morning when I went to the rest. No.
Yeah.
We'll save the crude humor for later, because that actually is relevant to something today.
Yes. So how's your week been?
I'm just going to make that sound for a while.
Yeah, that won't be annoying whatsoever. Yeah.
Just the high-pitched E noise. So this week I had a job opportunity. Unfortunately, the short term versus the long term is not a possibility for me, I don't think. Okay. So a little bit depressed on that, because there is a training period, and the pay scale from actually having the job and training, wow. It is, when you have bills, it's unfortunate. And it's one of those things where it's like, that could last long enough that it's not that big of an improvement to do it kind of situation. So that was a little disappointing. But, so how was your week?
Pretty uneventful. Yesterday was pretty funny. This kid that works for us, he's on vacation or whatever.
So, real quick, because we're basically 40 at this point.
Yeah.
When you say kid, how old is kid in this case?
He's like 18.
Okay, so
I would,
by our standards at this point, very much a kid still. By a 20-year-old standpoint, I'm an adult.
Sure, yeah. So anyway, he's like on vacation or whatever, and he had a package sent to the shop that I work at. And the older gentleman, now this guy is like 83 years old.
So we've spoken about in the past with some interesting takes on things.
Well, anyway, so he's like, hey, what's his face has a package that came in today. He's like, I'm going to call him just to let him know that in case this package is important.
Right.
You know, which is good. I mean, which is what you should do. So he calls him, and he's like, and the kid's like, well, it's probably just something edible. If it is, he's like, just go ahead and open up. If it's something edible, you guys can have it, because I'm not going to get back in time before.
What?
Yeah. It's weird.
So, Ohio, we do not have edibles as far as edibles that are worth something.
Yes.
So it's just food or candy.
Yeah. So the older.
Well, why is he ordering that when he's not going to be?
I have no idea. It's weird. So anyway, it was food, and the older gentleman that I work with opened it up. It was a 5-pound box of peanuts.
Like boiled peanuts?
No. And so the older gentleman was looking at it. It's a 5-pound box that they're shelled, or they're unshelled or whatever. Not salted. I don't think they were even roasted. Just plain
raw peanuts.
5 pounds.
What?
And the older gentleman's like, "Saul, would you like some of this?" I'm like, "No," because I'd be like chewing something. I'd be like, "Why am I eating this?" He's like, "Yeah, that was my thought too." He's like, "I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't want 5 pounds of unsalted, unroasted peanuts."
What? What do you know? What, we're going to stop for a second, because we're going to look up what you do with unsalted, unroasted peanuts, because I want to know.
Yes.
So,
covered, and there's so much more.
We have looked up.
Yeah.
There is nothing that comes up immediately on Google.
Yeah.
And we did an extensive search of about 42 seconds.
Uh-huh.
I think that's all this deserves. No real reason other than if you want to roast them yourself. So maybe that's what it is.
5 pounds of it? It was weird.
I'm assuming that when you buy, shelled, unroasted, unsalted, raw peanuts, it's probably cheaper. Like 5 pounds is probably like it's
would,
probably 1 pound, 5 pound. And if you get 1 pound and you're just like, oh, that really wasn't filling, you go to the 5 pound. Assuming you're just eating all the peanuts in one batch.
I think I would just go down the street to Walmart.
Maybe he was going to make peanut butter.
Yeah, maybe. The kid's kind of weird, so I can kind of see that, I guess.
Well, hopefully we'll get an update at some point and find out what on earth this was for.
Ross, he was trying to make a peanut butter pie.
I've heard of peanut butter pie. I don't know if it's any good. So I guess we should move to the show part.
Sure.
I feel like since we've been doing like a show that actually has topics, we don't have as much stuff to talk about for our day-to-day stuff. Maybe we're more strict with it, though.
That's right.
Could be.
All
right.
We got to stick to the plan.
Yes, that probably helps. If anyone wants to go listen to the old episodes,
Of this rambling about
there is, real quick, a little self-promotion here because we got the YouTube thing going up. I made a short video for our discussion from last week about not Billy Ray Cyrus. God, that'd be even better. For Garth Brooks in ICP.
Yeah.
It is mostly just a slideshow format with some...
which was pretty good, I'll give it to you. I mean, it was amusing.
Well, I sent it to you, and I don't know what you were expecting, but it's mostly our logo, but then I threw in some different pictures and things like that for ICP, and Garth Brooks is the rodeo cowboy with his cowboy makeup. Cowboy makeup is really hard to put on someone.
It was impressive.
I don't actually have Photoshop, but so we did that. I think I might actually go back and do that for some of our old episodes.
Okay.
Like when we were talking about the guy who just randomly shoots at stuff thinking it's Bigfoot all the time. Because if I don't know what it is, it must be a Bigfoot.
Yes.
I think I can come up with something for that. So we might start doing that and just throwing it up on YouTube or whatever, because I was pretty entertained by it.
Yeah, it was good.
It took me way longer than I'd care to admit to make that because I had never used any of those tools before. But it was a learning process. So, so if you want to check that out for whatever reason, again, we don't have an actual link. So you'd have to go to YouTube and then search Agony of Positivity. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, you need 100 people views.
So again, like we said last week, sign up your friends. When they're not looking, just click that subscribe button. And once we hit 100, I don't care. You can unsubscribe. We just need the URL to make life easier so it doesn't look like we're posting scamming links with YouTube stuff attached.
Yes.
So, but all right. So for the actual show, we're going to do wrestling. Mm-hmm. We got, specifically, did you watch Mandalorian?
Yeah, I did.
So we might be able to close out with that if you want to.
Yeah.
We're going to take a look at the Ghostbusters trailer.
Yeah.
And we have a special treat to go along with the Ghostbusters discussion as we watched the 2016 of it because everyone just badmouthed it. I don't think either of us saw it. So we need to watch. Well, we'll get into that when we get there. Then whatever video game talk there is, there might not be a lot on this one because I didn't play hardly anything. We might make a discussion out of the video game awards that happened.
All right.
We'll see. So you want to start with wrestling this week? Or
let's just go.
You want to do video games since that's probably going to be super short.
Actually, let's do video game first.
All right.
Let's get
here we go.
Get over here!
You sure are good at murder.
This is Jimmy. All your days are belong to us.
I have no time for games.
The might of Frost. I could use a...
Time's up. Let's do this.
Wow, that video game.
That's basically an intro to an entire podcast. So we will probably be shortening that down, but we're getting at least one use out of it.
Sure.
But special thanks to Blizzard because they're pretty cool about using whether it's their music or their voices and stuff.
They seem to be pretty cool with it.
Yeah, you can typically use their stuff and they don't care. Mm-hmm. Hopefully the other people don't care. It's not like we're making millions of dollars. If we are, we'll give them some money.
Yes.
So if they want to attack us and give us some publicity, that'd be great. But,
so with video games...
Yeah, did you do anything?
I did Hearthstone.
Yeah, I played a bunch of Battleground. I am now for the Hearthstone Battleground. For some reason, I go towards Murlocs constantly now. Like, I always am trying to do a Murloc build.
Okay.
And it's fairly successful most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it just feels dirty, and it's you're out in 8th or you're top 3 if it works.
Yeah.
And then sometimes all of a sudden you don't even realize it, and you're like, "Oh, I'm dead." Crap,
Yeah.
because I just got hit for 20 on turn 4.
The problem I have with with Battlegrounds is I get an idea in my head. Like, okay, I'm gonna go with mechs. I'm going with mechs, and so for whatever reason, I just get mechs in my head.
Do you become unflexible?
Well, I don't know. It's just, I guess I'm just focused on mechs, and I don't see anything, so I start passing up stuff that are good. But
Right.
because I'm on the mech thing in my head, yeah.
So you've wasted a minion essentially on
Yes.
needless refreshes.
Yep.
Yes, that can happen. I will get kind of like what I was asking if you did, like the laser focus on something where it's like, I'm building mechs or I'm building Murlocs, and it'll be early on, and I'll see like the good stuff that you want, like a hyena, arguably good or not, but if
Yeah.
you get like certain other things that go with it, if you get the dude that gives your beasts that are summoned extra damage,
Yeah.
and
That guy sucks. I don't like that guy.
right, but you get like the rat or whatever at the same time. Well, that's a pretty strong combination when you have all of that. And I'll pass that up because I'm trying to find the next mech or something. So, but yes, I played more of that than anything. I did actually continue playing Conan some,
Okay.
and I think I hit level 20 with it. And
Did your horse kill you?
no, because I'm actually playing like the proper way instead of the admin mode, like on solo play.
Yeah.
And the problem I'm running into is I still really enjoy the game. Like, the gameplay feels good and everything. But I've essentially done everything in that game from when we played.
Yeah.
So the motivation, like, because the level 20 range, like, you need to move to a better area for a base. Like, kind of like out of that starting river zone, or wherever you're going to.
Yeah.
I just don't really have the same motivation. Like, because there's nothing really that's going to excite me. Like, I kind of know what's going to happen for the most part. So it's like the replayability is really low at this point. And there's nothing that I've been inspired to build where I'm like, because I mean, I would get crazy ideas when we were playing it previously where like, well, there was the tower I built that was literally no point, but just to see how big, like, it was basically a staircase that went straight up.
Yes.
And it was insanely high. I think it was higher than, or I think it went to the height limit of the game. I'm not sure.
No, I don't think. I think you could have built. I think you just got tired of doing it
Could be.
because you were running up and down.
Yeah, there was no quick way up because running is still quicker than the elevator would have been.
Yeah.
And getting the way I built it wasn't very good. So, but yeah, like stuff like that or like the crazy bases, like I don't feel the desire to do that currently. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to play it too much more. But I do like it. There's definitely been some improvements.
I think you definitely need a group of people to play it. Well, for what we would want to do with it, because
Yeah,
do
it's
the
definitely-
dungeons and stuff by yourself's kind of boring.
Yeah, it's one of the rare games. A lot of times I play a game I want a solo experience.
Yeah.
Any multiplayer game typically is what it really comes down. I was like, I like the style of game, but I don't want to have to be committed to people.
Yeah.
This one is more play with somebody. And when we were working the same schedule at the job where we had multiple days off, at the middle of the night because we had horrible sleep schedules, that was much easier.
Yeah.
But still a fun game. Still really like it. I've completed Grindstone, where that was the mobile game that's like the puzzle doohickey.
Okay.
It was actually nominated as one of the indie game
Yeah, you were
awards.
telling me about this. So it's like a big
It's just like a puzzle, like you'd have
video
to pull
game
it up.
awards or something.
Yeah, they have like the awards going on. Let's see here. But yeah, so I'll finish Grindstone real quick. But yeah, basically like most of the levels have like 3 goals, but you only need to you got to open the door to the next level basically. So that's goal 1. So you can exit a level by doing that, but then there's like a treasure chest that you can get, and there's like a boss dude that you got to kill. And I was able to complete every objective of every level so far.
Okay.
To the best of my knowledge, it only goes up to 150. It won't let me go anywhere else. So, and then, like, I have everything unlocked and whatever. There's challenges that I haven't done, but as far as that,
Yeah.
that was all. But, so yeah, so for the Video Game Awards, I didn't watch it. I'm sure there's a bunch of trailers, but either way. So, Game of the Year this year was Sekiro. And that is one, like, I can tell by your expression you have no idea what that game
I
is.
have no idea what that is.
I only know because some of the people I watch on Twitch were playing it pretty heavily.
Okay.
And it's basically like a Dark Soul style game.
All right.
I have no interest in that game at all.
Tap it out.
It looked fun if you were into that kind of game, and like the people I were watching, obviously they were into it. Like they had a blast. So it looks like it could be fun. It was entertaining to watch people because it's got that difficulty where it's it's entertaining to watch someone struggle depending on how they react.
Sure.
And but they got the best game direction was Death Stranding, which is your Daryl game for where you're delivering the stuff.
The Walking
constantly.
Dead Daryl, gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
The best narrative was Disco Elysium. I have no idea what that game is. So basically, what we're going to do for about the next 40 seconds is be like, I don't know what that game is. I don't know what that one is. Best art direction was, if I copied this over right, was a game called Control. No idea. Best music, you had Death Stranding. Best audio design, which I almost want to go and find out what technically the best audio design means as a category. Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand what that means. So, but that was COD Modern Warfare. Games for Impact was, I'm assuming that's GRIS. GRIS.
Yeah.
Best ongoing game was Fortnite. And I was confused a little bit on the nominees for this one. Because it was Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, and Rainbow Six Siege. And I've played Final Fantasy 14, and I did like that. It feels weird to me that a Final Fantasy game is comparable by category to something like Fortnite.
Yes.
Because Fortnite, I mean, technically it is an ongoing game, but it's like match after match, whereas Final Fantasy 14 is the role-playing style game. Like, I mean, same with, like, you got Apex Legends in there and all that, but it was just weird. Best mobile game was COD Mobile, so Call of Duty. Best action game was Devil May Cry.
I watched the thing about COD Mobile.
Yeah.
This guy, the Spiffin Brit guy.
Spiffin Brit? Oh.
Spiffin Brit. Well, he tries to do game exploits, and he did the game exploit where he was playing the mobile game on the computer.
Yeah, so with the mouse for the aiming, he was just destroying.
He was destroying people. Yes.
I did that for a while using BlueStacks for like an Android emulator.
Okay, yeah.
Playing Brawl Stars.
Yeah.
And that's like the mobile style mobile game from Supercell.
Mm-hmm.
And the mouse made some things easier, but it was just such a hassle to bring it up. I just went back to playing it on my phone. I'm not competitive, so
sure.
Let's see. So all right, so that's really probably the end of it. Have you seen anything like?
Well, the best action game was Devil May Cry
5.
Wow, they made 5 of those games.
Yes,
I think I played 2. And
I
realized
realized looking at this list, I have not played hardly any video games this year other than the normal stuff that I play.
Yeah.
And I'd kind of like to change that, but I think now that I'm old, I'm just set in my ways. It's like, I want my same video games and I want my same experience. Because, like, I have GTA 5. I've played 14 minutes of it. Like, I was looking through Steam at some of the games I have.
Yeah.
Like, Long Dark, I've played that. That's one of your survival games.
Okay.
I played that a decent amount, but, yeah, there's, like, all kinds of these games where I've never finished them. I kind of think it's because I don't play on a console ever. So, computer, it's like, oh, Hearthstone's easy.
Yes.
These other games are easy. I don't have to sit down, like, on the like, in my mind, picking up a controller is this big hassle now.
Really?
Like, I gotta pick up this heavy controller and hit all these buttons. Meanwhile, like, I'm playing, like, a World of Warcraft or Rift or something where there's, rotations and stuff.
Well, see, like a Hearthstone or, like, World of Warcraft, for example, I think those games are easy to get in and out of quickly.
Yes. That is one of the benefits for sure.
So, like, for example, I was playing, like, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
And I noticed that, I would go off and just be a cowboy and start shooting stuff up.
Right. That's what would happen if I was playing that game, too. Much like Skyrim or any of those games, I would ignore the main quest as much as possible.
Yeah, and that's what I would never actually do campaign, because I know it's going to take, like, 15, 20 minutes to do an actual story.
Right. Or you can just go enjoy yourself.
Yeah. That's what I always did, yeah.
Well, that's, I think, why I've started to like the open world games. Like, even Minecraft, I have that on the Switch. And it's fun. Like, Switch, I have Cuphead. I've played very little of it, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
I have the latest Mega Man. It's awesome, but I don't play it.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do?
Well, Mario, also,
I do want to. You have Mario Maker.
I do.
They added the Link update
Yeah.
where you can get like the Master Sword.
I was getting ready to say that.
How is that?
It's pretty fun.
Okay.
I would actually play a game where if you could be that Link and that type of style in a game, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool because he has the bow, he has the Master Sword. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I keep thinking about getting Mario Maker, and then
It's
I
fun.
don't. But I feel like I should. Like, it seems like it'd be good because there's constantly going to be levels that you can play.
Yep.
So, and then you can find like just enjoyable levels versus, hey, if you're a streamer, this will be good for you because it's going to take you 45 hours to master. So, all right. So we're done with video games, right?
I would say so.
Like, is there any game that you're currently like, I really need to play that you've heard of that's a new game?
Like I think for like Christmas, somebody's going to buy me that.
The Goose Game?
The Goose Game.
Untitled Goose Game?
Untitled Goose Game. So.
Right, but there's nothing like upcoming
No.
that you're... Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. So,
Yeah.
all right. So what do you want to go to next? Knock wrestling out?
Yeah, we can knock wrestling out. Yeah.
All right.
Cero miedo!
You just call him dinner?
NWA.
Looks like he's just wearing blue knee pads.
Chris Jericho.
Oh, I don't know what the hell's going on here, folks.
This is a revolution.
Some people would just add in a bumper after the fact.
Yeah.
Or mute their mic and do something. But we just sit here and stare at a clock that counts down for us. Because we're dedicated.
Yes.
And that's what that means sometimes. So, all right. So, I didn't watch a ton of wrestling this week. I watched the majority of Dynamite.
Yeah, okay.
But I do have notes about Dynamite. So
Okay.
that's something.
All right.
So you're going to have to fill me in on some of this stuff.
Okay.
I do want to make one comment, though, that the NWA, the national title, is still the most hideous thing I've seen in my life.
I'll agree with that, yes.
I was looking at old versions of that title. They're beautiful. There are beautiful old versions of that championship.
It's like you got the guy from Smashing Pumpkins needs to go and find the belt, the old belt.
I assume there's a reason that they went that way, but I just don't know what it is. It's hideous. It's like a giant fruit roll-up with some hubcaps on it, and one of the hubcaps happened to get ran over and ended up looking like the USA. That's kind of what I feel like.
I agree with that.
Like, it's just a big red fruit by the foot. Just slap some of this metal stuff. We got some ashtray, like the old ashtrays at McDonald's.
Yes.
When they had those little like aluminum ones.
Yeah.
Like, slap some of those on there. Now I did look at a super close up. Like the art and like the detail on all the plates is very nice. But it's just the shape just kills me.
Agreed.
Like, it's just it would like if the strap followed the contour of our country, it'd be even worse. So it's not as bad as it could be. It could be worse, but man, I think that thing is hideous. So
sure.
Now I don't think I watched Power this week. Did you? Or was last week the season finale for it? Because they're doing the End of the Fire this weekend, aren't they?
Yeah. Which, you know what? Kind of makes me want to watch it.
I'm legitimately interested in it.
I won't, but because for one thing, I think it's cheap. It's like $20 or something like that.
I might look into it because they have, since I've slowly been trying to watch it, I'm fairly interested in what the presentation and how it's going to be.
With James Storm and I can't think the guy's name. I always forget the guy's name. Who's the world champion?
Aldous.
Aldous, yes. I don't know why. I don't know why I forget the guy's name because he's a great wrestler. Does great promos, and I just forget.
His name is fairly bland.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's people I couldn't remember the Young Bucks name for like a year. I knew there was a difference between them, but I think going back, you'll even hear me be like, "Well, you got left Young Buck and right Young Buck, or whatever."
Sure.
So don't feel too bad.
Yeah.
As we are already enraging people, hopefully it works.
Yes.
So I don't think there was Power. That's why, because I was trying to find results and I remembered, they got the pay-per-view.
Oh, okay.
So they probably just had the off week for that to build into it. Yeah. So I did not catch Dark this week. I don't think. Maybe I did, but I don't remember it. Well, yeah, because it was Omega and Hangman had the.
No, that's Dynamite.
Well, I obviously can't remember because that's how my week was.
There was it was Kenny Omega and Kip Sabian
Yeah, just a single.
Sabian? Kip Sabian, right?
I always thought it used to be Kip Sabian.
Yeah.
But now it's Sabian, and that's weird to me.
Anyway, they were the main event for that.
Okay. So, yeah, I did see that. Yeah, because Penelope was getting involved.
Yeah.
And then all that stuff. But, okay. Yeah, that match went a lot longer than I thought it would. Because at first I thought Kenny was just going to crush him. Like, that was the whole point. But it ended up being a pretty good match.
Yeah.
And the way, it made sense to me. Now that I remember actually seeing it.
Yeah.
So, let's see. So we'll go on to Dynamite real quick. So Mox crushed some dude. And it looks like Jericho.
The Beaver Boys.
So what was going on? Yeah, one of. So what was
No,
going
both
on
of
for me is
he got both the Beaver Boys.
Did he?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't. Okay. So I was in and out, falling asleep through all of Dynamite.
Okay.
So I was laying on the couch and I was like, I should really sit up to be able to watch this. And then that never happened.
Yeah.
But so it started out with that. So from what I saw most of the promo with that, where Jericho was inviting Moxley to join them.
Sure.
And Jericho approached him very cautiously, to where he was trying to not have Moxley just destroy him. So I thought that was kind of interesting because that's not how he treats anyone else.
Yeah.
He treated him with a different degree of respect in that situation.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting to see. You think he's going to join?
No. I mean, it would definitely be different if he would join them.
Right, but why?
I mean, I don't I would have no the character they have built so far.
It doesn't make sense.
It wouldn't make sense for him to join.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, unless he does the thing where he does it for an episode, but everyone's getting picked off during the episode,
Yeah.
and then it turns out that he just did that to get the drop on him. Kind of thing.
Yeah, it was kind of like the whole with. It kind of reminded me of when the NWO was trying to recruit Sting.
Right. That or Paige, where Paige put that. So something like that, maybe. But okay.
Oh well, then see, you might have fell asleep. The whole Beaver Boys, the Dark Order.
I saw a little bit of that, but I didn't realize it was them because the one guy was sitting on the bed, right, and the TV's talking to him.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting. And then if they start winning,
well, because I guess AEW did sign them this week, so now they're official. Right. I guess they will no longer be jobbers on their TV. I guess,
or they'll at least have a. It'd be better to be a jobber with a story than a kind of okay guy that has nothing.
Yeah,
so I would take. I feel like I would take that as a choice there.
Agreed.
But so from there, it looks like we went to Cody and Marshall against Triple B.
Yes.
I saw the beginning and the end of the match, and it seemed like it was a decent match.
It was good,
and it built Butcher and Blade pretty they're tough.
Like Cody said, the beginning of the match, he's the fans were chanting Cody's partner, and then he's at the end they was actually chanting his name. So he's that shows you that he won the crowd.
And I had to read through some of the results, but it seems like he was doing some stuff I had no idea that guy could do.
Yeah, he was
with flips. And,
he did all kind of flippy doos and
I would never looking at that guy. I would have been Arn Anderson style.
Sure, yeah.
Which I'm going to talk about Arn Anderson when we're done with Dynamite for a minute.
Okay.
They win, not surprisingly, Butcher and Blade and Bunny. And I guess Darby came out to speak with Cody, essentially.
Yeah, he offered his help, but he wants a rematch.
With Cody as well?
With Cody.
Okay,
yes.
Well, that's fair. I mean, that makes sense.
But
this gives Darby something to do, because he's come off some real competitive losses. Mm-hmm. But putting him with Cody, so if they win or lose, that could probably go either way. But then you get Darby to have his match with Cody. Yeah. I assume he probably is going to win that one.
I would assume, yes.
But, I mean, it's hard to say, but we'll have to see what happens there. But, I mean, that gives him something pretty major to do, even though his win-loss isn't super strong. Mm-hmm. It's continuing the building him up, and I don't feel like it's just a waste.
Yeah.
So after that, I just copied some things over for the show run here. Okay. We had where MJF came out and talked. And I watched that. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, attack the camera guy.
Yeah, that poor guy.
Yeah.
I want to say that I think MJF would be a perfect person to actually be friends with, because You know when you ask for an honest opinion, and there's always in the back of your mind, like, I know Saul's going to give me the honest opinion, but he might hold a few punches to me just to be nice.
Sure.
MJF's not going to do that. Now, you got to be pretty... You need to know what you're asking for when you ask for it. Also, on a road trip, he falls into that category. You could probably sit there and not talk, and he'd be okay with that.
See,
he'd probably prefer it.
Yeah. See, I wonder with the whole MJF-Cody feud, because Cody has said this a couple times. He's like, you were my bad guy.
Yeah.
I know you were a bad guy, you're my bad guy. I wonder eventually that will lead into, like, he has nobody to help him out. And Cody says, I don't need a bad guy, I need a villain. And that's when... That'd be neat.
Oh, to get Marty in.
Yes.
And then Marty immediately turns on Cody.
Yes.
I think we're all assuming that Marty's showing up. Marty Skrull, but...
I assume I
can't imagine not going there, at least for like a year, to see how it goes. Like, it seems like there's so much stuff built already that he can just step into. Like, he's going to be somebody.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be not like top of the card.
Yeah.
But he's going to have some major play. I mean, he's really good too.
Yeah.
So, so I like that. But so we got Emmy against Swole.
Yeah.
Who I guess Swole signed as well.
Yep.
Like, she's official.
She's official now. Yeah.
She won. She does like the ripcord layer. Like, I don't like her ripcord finisher because she does the ripcord, but she spins two.
Yeah.
I don't like that. It's
Okay.
weird to me. But I also, we're going from everybody does super kicks. We're currently in the generation of everybody does a cutter for everything.
Well,
in about 5 years.
Canadian destroyers are pretty.
Well, yeah, I forgot that. So we got Canadian destroyers now, and we're going to have ripcord everything.
Yeah.
Now, as I've mentioned on this, I play with G.I. Joes when I'm fidgeting at my desk doing things.
Yeah.
And I make them wrestle.
Okay.
So, like, Cody Rhodes is basically Storm Shadow. Storm Shadow has Crossroads for his finisher. That's
Okay.
what I've decided. The Cobra Commander does the downward spiral.
Okay.
Which is, like the reverse Russian leg sweep thing, basically.
Yeah.
You know what move you could do real well with a ripcord? You can ripcord into a downward spiral. I want to see that as a finisher for somebody.
Okay.
Or as like a 2-count move, that'd be fine. But
it's amazing that you have storylines for your action figures, for your little fidgety things.
I can't help it. Currently, the heavyweight title is actually the Creation Matrix from Optimus Prime from one of the smaller action figures.
Yeah.
And I'll post a video one day of me playing with them to the YouTube.
Gotcha.
But like Tunnel Rat,
yeah,
he does the Diamond Cutter as his finisher. Different people have different finishers. Unknown Dude has the Paradigm Shift.
Okay.
Like, nobody has the One Wing Angel because even though the G.I. Joe toys are very articulated,
yes,
you cannot. It just does not work right.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, so Swole won that match with her ripcord finisher that just it hurts me.
Yeah.
So I saw like this promo, but I thought I was dreaming, and it was just like Pac screaming or Pac, whatever, screaming about opportunity.
Yes.
And I just was entertained by like what I remember of it. Like, I mean, it seemed like that was pretty straightforward.
Well, it's funny because I don't know if they do it on purpose, but they put that Jen Sturger always interviewing, and she looks so uncomfortable interviewing him because I don't know if she's like,
he's gonna yell at her.
Yeah, I don't know if she's legitimately scared of him or like she's just a really good act. I don't know. This is funny.
Imagine if you were to see him in person. Like, that dude is clearly built.
Yes.
Like, he's probably huge to a normal person.
Have you ever seen the black and white photos of him?
Yeah, like when he was like really small.
He's no black and white photos of him like just as big as he is now, but he's like flexing or whatever,
with like
and all his muscles. He's scary looking.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm sure he has either the perfect natty lighting or the fluorescent lighting.
Yeah,
I think there's fluorescent lighting if cast the right shadows, you will look super cut compared to what you actually are.
Gotcha.
And it's a brilliant thing.
Yeah.
But okay, so this went to so it was Kip Sabian and Spears, and they went against Hangman and Kenny.
A lot of people complained about this match because they said there was no rules. Because I guess Janela did his thing, but he didn't interfere. He was on the ramp.
Yeah, so that happens all the time.
Yeah,
like, if he's just standing there.
Yeah.
I don't see why that matters.
I don't know. I guess a lot of people, from what I've read on Twitter and everything, were really mad at this match because they said the rules are just thrown out the window, and I don't know where they were getting that at.
I did not see this match at all.
Yeah,
I heard where Tully Blanchard was explaining what a team is.
Yeah,
like I'm assuming that was before the match.
Mm-hmm.
Like I heard that whole thing, and I was like, oh, that's really good. Like so it's going to be eventually Sean Spears, Tully, and someone else. They're going to make a team.
Yeah. So you didn't see how the beginnings of Adam Page's heel turn, I assume.
I've seen the GIF of him, people titling it friend zoning Kenny, where he went for like the big celebration high five thing, and he was just like, yeah, good job, buddy.
Oh, well, it was
like he tagged himself in too.
He tagged it. Well, because Kenny Omega, because half the match, maybe it wasn't half the match, but Penelope does her little Hurricane Run or whatever flip thing to him, and he was out for like it seemed like the entire match outside the ring.
Paige was?
Yeah, Paige was.
Okay.
So Kenny Omega does his Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan thing where he powers up. So he pretty much is. He pretty much wins the match, okay? And he's getting ready to finish off Kip. And Hangman goes and smacks Omega on the back,
right? And
jumps in and does his buckshot lariat or whatever and wins it. And Kenny Omega's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, and like the announcer's like, "Well, Kenny's confused, but hey, a win is a win," and that's how Omega does it. He's like, "Okay, whatever."
Yeah, it's fine.
So
I saw the end where Paige was talking to him. He was like, "Sorry, man, I probably shouldn't have done that or something like that." Like,
so
some like backstage skit. I don't know if that was like part of the show or if I saw that somewhere else.
Yeah, but I guess next week they're fighting the Lucha Brothers. So I'm wondering if they'll
That's
continue.
not going to pass the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah. So I wonder if that'll. I don't know, continue the heel turn, evil,
well, I mean, if
evil cowboy.
So we're going to have Kenny with Neville pursuing him.
Yes.
And then eventually we're getting to Kenny and Paige as a match, I'm guessing. Which I am curious to see that. That would probably be pretty interesting.
I think Hangman as a bad guy might actually help make that character more interesting. Right now the character is not really all that interesting to me. He's good. He's a good wrestler.
Right. And I mean, he comes across like he's likable.
Yeah.
Like his matches are fine. He talks fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not a lot there where it's kind of like Dark Order, where it was like, I'd like to see something that I care about, and then they started doing the cult thing, and it's like, okay, now I'm intrigued.
I think making him a darker character might help.
Oh, and he drank apparently a bottle of whiskey alone was on his intro picture.
Yeah. Which I thought was funny because Twitter, he's like, who wrote this?
I saw that, and I had like you were telling me you thought it was just like a fan made thing with high quality. Well, and it turns out that it was real. I kind of thought the same thing when I saw something.
And I was reading like other people's, and they were doing it to everybody. So I don't know if like somebody in the back was just having fun and they were just typing in whatever.
Maybe remember the dude in NXT, Sammy Callahan?
Okay,
he was the hacker guy in NXT. Maybe he's hacking their broadcast, and he's going to show up one day.
Maybe.
So
all
right. So I didn't even realize this match was happening. Sammy against Luchasaurus.
You would be because ever since you mentioned Sammy's trunks to me.
That is all Mr. Sandow's fault.
I was focused on it,
tights.
And
they are incredibly small, right?
And this match would have drove you nuts because some of the moves that Luchasaurus was doing to Sammy was making his trunks ride up a little bit too much, and I'm like, oh my God, Ross is right.
I don't know why you even noticed. If it wouldn't have been for Stevens, right? That's his actual name, Damien Sandow.
Oh yeah.
Steven. If he wouldn't have wore those new tights. And then they mentioned it on the commentary. I even put it in the little bumper we used where he's like, it's like he's just wearing blue knee pads. That just led me down a trail of just like hyper scrutinizing everyone's attire for the rest of the week. And now I'm stuck with that. Yeah. And I'm glad that you are. I hope people listening are stuck with it. And they're like, you're right. That is like, I mean, he would be super aerodynamic for swimming.
It was
But so for the match itself, was it?
It was all right. I mean,
Should I go back and find it on YouTube somewhere?
I think you should. I
mean, I like Luchasaurus, so
Yeah.
I didn't think I would, but
Yeah.
So but Luchasaurus won that one, right?
Yeah,
Like,
Luchasaurus for him, and then
what is
the inner circle
what
came
is his
down.
finisher on his own?
I
know it's called the Extinction, but I don't know what the move is.
I have no idea what it was, to be honest with you. We'll have to watch it after we get done.
Yeah, find out.
Yeah.
But so Bucks and P&P.
Yeah.
So I actually went and watched that this morning. I found a video of it. It was awful quality because, YouTube gets weird when they're showing stuff that isn't official.
Yeah.
So, but I was able to watch it and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because this seems like a really crazy, because they're doing the slow turn with Paige becoming heel. What did you think about how they did the complete double turn where the Bucks are absolute bad guys and Proud and Powerful are clearly the good guys now in the middle of that match? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not really, no.
Really? Because I thought it was obvious to everybody. The Bucks all of a sudden are wearing a Dallas Cowboys helmet.
Yeah.
Like they're heathens.
Well,
and then we got Proud and Powerful who are spitting on it because they are Giants fans. I did not see it coming.
And the announcing team did talk about that.
Yeah, I was glad they called it. That's how I knew that it wasn't just me being hopeful. That it was a legitimate story.
Yeah, because I saw in your show notes there a double heel or double turn. I was like, what? There was a no. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that now that I know the Bucks are in allegiance with the Cowboys, it's over.
Well, they were in Texas, so I think they were just kind of just playing it up.
No. Nah. You put on a Cowboys helmet.
They could have wore a Texans helmet, right? And
you would have Texans would be fine.
Yeah.
Because I don't think spitting on the Texans helmet is going to be right. But the Cowboys, that's fine. You want to do that? Dance on the star? Whatever.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I thought the match was all right.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. It was chaos. That's for certain.
They don't like tables. Like the one.
I want them to start. Have you seen the indies that use the doors now because they're cheaper?
Yes.
I want to see them start using doors.
Well, like the one ups and downs on YouTube. I was watching. He was talking about this, and he's like, AEW must keep the table companies in business because he's like they used a lot during this match.
Well, do you remember there was someone who was talking about it, like the wrestling style tables are hard to come by.
Yeah,
because they've all gone to plastic and stuff like that. They're more durable.
So you think there's actually a company now?
Is
that what New Japan uses? That weird table, that really skinny table.
I think that's just because Japan is weird.
Okay,
they're also smaller than Americans because we are, like if you're looking at the demographics of everyone in Japan versus the United States,
sure.
There is a size difference, height and width, to be nice to us.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I thought it was a pretty good match. Bucks against SCU. I'm kind of curious what's going to go on there. I was a little surprised. Like at a glance, I was surprised that P&P lost.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like the Bucks really haven't won very much. They need to win eventually against somebody.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think it hurts anybody to lose that match, but that would be the first one where it seems like a match where it's like really neither one of these guys need to lose, but they did give it. I will give them credit. They were like, we're doing a clear cut finish. There was nothing like, oh, we're going to have this match end without a finish. Like they just someone ate a pin. That's fine.
I'm not a fan of SCU, so I kind of get the belt off them because I think to me they're a boring tag team.
I like them.
Yeah.
I feel like Scorpio Sky. I mean, obviously he's the younger in that. I feel like he's the main dude in that right now.
Sure.
And he'll be doing single stuff.
Yeah.
So I could see the Bucks winning, and I don't think that hurts anything. The Bucks are going to put on good matches with whoever they're against.
Yeah.
And they can, if P&P are the ones to take the belts off them or whoever it is, it'll be a big deal for them. So once you get the Bucks are back rolling, you can tell it's sort of like they finally got their rhythm going back or whatever. And I guess Nick had the flu for that match, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And I believe that's like the real flu as opposed to Shawn Michaels having the flu when he fought Sid the second time to make it better. So
you left out. You might have been asleep when Brandy Rhodes was trashing the women's division.
Oh, I saw something about that.
Yeah.
And so how was that?
It was. I thought it was funny that she was trashing them because everything that she said in the thing was what. Well, yeah, sure. Like she was saying, the women's champion is nowhere to be found whatsoever, which is I've not seen her at all.
So yeah, she was saying actual things that are relevant.
She was saying Leva Bates spends most of her time on the ground looking up at the ceiling because she always loses.
Right, she's a shell of herself, basically.
Yes.
Because she is good at wrestling. I mean,
made fun of Adam Cole and Britt saying she mentions her boyfriend way too much, which I don't think that. I think the show mentions her boyfriend way too much, and not really.
But either way, so she's basically bringing up like legitimate points against.
Yeah, and then she showed a bald guy. He was going to show his face. He said, "No, not yet. He's not ready yet."
Oh yeah, there was people on the internet saw the tattoo on the wrist, and I think they figured out who it is.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not familiar with the guy that it supposedly is. I'm going to leave that out in case someone wants to be surprised.
Okay.
Because that's a weird thing to like. That's not spoiling what happened on the show. That's spoiling internet detective work that people have gone into it. So I'll avoid that one.
I just thought it was weird. It's weird because now that if she's going to be introducing men into, I thought the Nightmare Collective was going to be a women faction. But hey, whatever.
Maybe he's going to be their muscle, though.
Sure. I don't know.
I'll be curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
So, did I miss anything else?
No,
when I was sleepy tie?
That was it.
So, when I said I wanted to talk about Arn, have you listened to the Arn Anderson podcast at all with Conrad?
Yeah, I did actually, yeah.
So, this week, I don't listen to it a ton. I'll usually do like the question and answer ones.
Yeah.
Like I like those, and I'll just if I'm at other podcasts, like that's one of the ones that gets kind of like on my list where it's like, okay, I'll see what's going on with this. Mm-hmm. His delivery of stuff delights me though. And I was even telling you this because we were talking on the phone where he was talking about when they went to ECW and it was going to be him and the other guy against I think it was Sabu and Terry Funk, right?
Yeah.
And he was like. And I can't be as deadpan dry about it as him. He was like, well, and Sabu spent the better part of the afternoon telling me he was going to fall out of the ceiling on me all these different ways. And I said, that's fine. And just kind of went on. But, like, just, you'd have to listen to that podcast to really get.
Yeah.
But it just cracked me up because it's like, you know that, like, Sabu's, like, just being insane with him, I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
And then the story of the match where, like, those two started out and just kill each other, they're bleeding, and then Arn comes in the ring with the other dude, and they just grab a headlock, take over, and just lay there.
Sure.
Like the whole, like his story is about like these incredibly insane situations, and how he just undersells everything is fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
I watched a little bit of NXT.
Yeah, how was that?
No, actually, I didn't watch it. I watched the whole show. I didn't enjoy it as much, maybe because I'm not invested in it, I guess.
Well, you haven't really been watching it for a while, right?
I have not.
So you're not caught up in
the announce team is terrible. I'm sorry.
Just not your style.
I think you said it. They yell way too much.
Something happened, like when I've watched like the takeovers.
Yeah.
There is, and I know a lot of people love Morrow as an announcer.
Okay. Yeah.
And I loved him on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And I've listened to him, and generally I think he's very good.
Okay.
But the last couple times I've caught anything with NXT, like, and I know there was like the whole debate thing with Corey Graves and all that, and I'm not concerned with that. But just in general, like he seems to yell a lot, like way more than he used to.
I don't know if it's just McMahon or WWE or whoever's in charge of that style, because the way they announce stuff anyway in WWE, it drives me nuts because they talk to me like I'm a little child.
Right.
I don't know.
And I try to listen to AEW's commentary and see if it's really that much different. And I kind of don't think it is. I think it's still a similar style because you got JR, you got Shivani.
Yeah.
And then like Excalibur brings to it. But it feels like there's more freedom for them to talk about whatever. Because like JR will be like, what the hell's going on? Like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it.
Sure.
And I kind of like that with him. So, I don't know. But yeah, I just know that the last couple times he's just yelled so much.
Yeah.
Where it's like, one of my criticisms, there was a guy I worked with that was a huge Dolph Ziggler fan a while back. Like this is like early 2011, 12, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And my complaint was like everybody loved his selling, but like at that time it was like the super extreme where like shoulder tackle in the beginning, and he'd like take it and roll backwards and like out of the ring. So like, dude, if you're selling a shoulder tackle early in the match like that, where are you going to go for a big move? Like you're maxed out. I feel like when from the very small sample size I've seen of the NXT, it was Mauro was always yelling, and it's like, well, I'm not going to be able to get excited. Like, if you're this excited for this, how are you going to be more excited for something else? So it always it comes off forced. Maybe? I don't know. There's just something that's not appealing to me. But I know that I like him as an announcer. Yeah. So I might have just caught, like, shows that were supposed to be a bigger deal than I realized.
Gotcha.
Is the only thing, like, to explain why he is so hyped up. That might be the case. But I agree with you. Like, it's not my thing. But how was the show itself as far as wrestling?
I made notes on everything. I don't know if I need to name all these matches, because the only match that...
What stuck out to you?
Okay. So Garza and Rush, that's Leo Rush, right? That match. So I made a note about it. So in the beginning of it, he's wearing Garza's wearing white pants. Okay,
is this the dude who takes his pants off mid-match?
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that till this week. Because people were talking about
it. I was playing like Hearthstone. I'm watching the match or whatever, and he's wearing white pants. He's fighting, and then towards the end, he has like blue. The pants are gone, and he's wearing his trunks or whatever. And I'm like, did he just take his pants off?
Like, is there an explanation? Like, I'm not hip with that gimmick. Maybe we should look into that
maybe we
next
should.
week and see what's going on.
Yeah, but he won the belt. He won the cruiserweight belt.
205 belt.
Yeah.
You know, Miz is shoot 205 now. Like from air quotes with that shoot, by the way, everybody.
Let's see, the Forgotten Sons and Travis Banks. I thought that the Forgotten Sons have a neat look. I like their look. Travis Banks, the announcers kept calling him the Kiwi Buzzsaw, which I thought was weird because they said it a lot during the match.
He's from New Zealand, I think. New Zealand or Kiwis, is that right?
I guess, yeah. I see.
I might be wrong on that.
I didn't even. I didn't know that was
we
the
have
backstory.
people from the Australia area who download.
But they said it a lot.
If you want.
Kiwi Buzzsaw, Kiwi Buzz. Okay, I got it. Yeah. And then I would say Keith Lee, Balor, and Ciampa.
Yes.
What's his name?
Yeah, you're right.
Ciampa.
I'm so bad at pronouncing some of the wrestlers' names right now because I don't follow that closely.
Anyway, so
I've never been able to pronounce his name anyway. So Ciampa, whatever, calls the belt Tommaso,
Goldie.
You could just call him Tommaso.
Tommaso, yeah. So anyway, he calls the belt Goldie.
Yes, he's done that forever.
Which I guess really irritates Balor. Which I understand because I'd be like, why you keep calling it Goldie? But he
just personified the belt into.
Yeah. So. I would say that match, because that was their main event.
Yeah.
That was better than the Young Bucks and PMB, I would say. No.
And the street fight is mighty gimmicky.
It is.
Like, it's more an experience. It's an experience. It's not,
So if you just want to watch a main event between both shows, I would recommend the NXT one. Okay. Just because Keith Lee is awesome.
Yeah, like that's like your current guy.
Yeah. He's awesome. I like him.
And now there's hope that he'll just stay on NXT and not get called up to Raw and then end up dancing 6 months from now.
You know what? Speaking of dancing, that kind of goes into the next way, I think. Or do you want to finish out? Or do you want to finish the wrestling out here?
One quick question.
Yeah.
NWO Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Fourth man being X-Pac.
So you just told me this.
Do you feel there's a large debate? I feel like it should, like, when I think NWO, I think Hogan, Hall, Nash.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't think, and X-Pac. Or
Six. Because his time in it was so short. I mean, because he got fired or quit, or I don't know what happened there, but, I mean, he wasn't a part of the whole war. I mean, he wasn't part of the NWO for that long.
I don't think when he, like, I remember when he showed up, and we were like, it's Six, and we liked him, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe he showed up in WCW. Like, It was just like, well,
Yeah.
of course he did. And
Yeah.
then we moved on with our lives.
Sure.
Much like if Marty shows up in AEW, we're going to be like, yeah, Marty, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened.
Yes.
Like, it had no impact.
I would be more surprised if he showed up in WWE. Be like,
Yeah, and then
really?
I'd be like, oh my God, like,
Yeah.
that would be a big deal to me.
Yeah.
It would not be a big deal to anyone who
I-
only watches WWE. They'd be like, who?
I would
Why does this guy
say-
have an umbrella? Is he the penguin?
Yes. I would say if you're going to have 4 members of the NWO, Eric Bischoff played a bigger role in the NWO than 6 did.
Yeah, there's definitely some different choices, but
Yeah.
I was just curious because I feel like I'm a 3-member supporter. Like, I would go with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care one way or the other, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. But it does seem strange to throw, of all the people that were in the NWO, you're throwing
I don't
the
know.
Lightning Kid.
I don't know what wrestler said it, but they said as more and more members were added to the NWO, the worse and worse they got.
Yes.
So,
Well, because you're getting not good people. So.
yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So are we ready to go into our movies, TV, film,
Yeah.
music? Here we go.
Something that could never, ever possibly destroy us. Mr. Stay Puft.
You chose poorly. You have chosen wisely.
Say Ross.
Yes.
You know what was missing in the original Ghostbusters movie?
A lot of fart humor.
And a lot of dancing.
Yes.
And we needed more dancing in the original Ghostbusters.
All right. So how do we want? So we want to talk about the trailer for Afterlife.
Yeah.
We also want to talk about Ghostbusters 2016.
Yeah.
I feel like the trailer is going to be the more interesting topic to people since that's new, maybe.
Sure.
And we can knock that out pretty quick.
So watching
wanna-
it with you just now.
Do you want to complain about small children, or should I complain about small children?
It doesn't matter because I think we both. So I was let down by the trailer when I saw the kids.
So we briefly discussed this, and I want to make my stance known, and then I'm going to something we've discussed off air. I'm going to defend it, even though I really don't want to.
Okay.
But so my thoughts are: all the kids and everyone in that are ghosts. They're all dead. They're the ghosts. That's
Okay.
why it's called Afterlife. That's my assumption.
All right. So they're going.
Also,
with the,
I do
whole-
not like kids in movies
Yeah.
where they are thrown into overly adult situations way earlier than they should be in their life.
Okay.
Now, I have been proven wrong occasionally. Blues Brothers 2000
Yeah.
had a child in it. He was not a
Did you like it?
That's fine, because that's about kids.
Yeah.
That made I'm okay with that one for some reason.
Yeah.
The way they did it
Okay.
was fine. So this one could it could very well turn out where it's a non-issue to me.
Yeah.
But at a glance, I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But to change that up, well, Goonies is a great adventure movie, Solomon, and it's focused on children or somewhere around that age.
Yeah.
So I think it can be fantastic.
I didn't like Goonies. Even as a kid, I didn't like Goonies.
I love Goonies, and I definitely don't feel the same way because I don't like that kind of movie.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely for kids in movies right now, and all the adventure hijinks of the 80s and 90s.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, if not obvious, I'm not a huge fan of the Goonies. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I had never seen it. Was able to pretty much guess the plot point as soon as you find out that the house is getting foreclosed on or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a...
No, I did like... Did you ever watch Flight of the Navigator?
Yes, I did not like that.
See, I like that.
Not my thing.
No.
I don't dislike it, I guess. I'm indifferent to it.
Oh, yeah.
It existed.
I've not seen it since I was a kid, so I don't know if I will like it now.
It's like if you were to eat unsalted, unroasted peanuts.
Yes.
They're technically not poisonous to you in any way, but you're just filling space.
Gotcha.
So that's what it was. But
Yeah.
So, I mean, the trailer, I like the trailer because, the way it was done was real cool.
Yeah.
And it sets it up good, but I'm going in skeptical.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that the original Ghostbusters from the
Exists.
80s. Yes.
Yes.
I like that part of it.
Well, I think Bill Murray's in it at some point. I could have swore I saw him in the trailer.
Yeah. Oh, I think all of them are actually.
Okay, and they're actually who they're supposed to be.
Yes. Yes.
So, right, and they could just be hyping this up as like the first half of the movie, and maybe they're involved or something like that.
Yeah.
And it gets, but like, yeah, first blush, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But I'm still excited because I do enjoy Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
We don't typically talk about Ghostbusters 2 in my mind because I don't care. Like, I didn't like that one very much.
Okay.
I thought it was cool that they used the Nintendo stuff to control the Statue of Liberty in that one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where they go. And, like, are they going to fill in the blanks for what happened after 2 till now?
Yeah.
Or, because I know they had the Ghostbusters video game that all those guys were involved with and was actually supposed to be, like, a continuation, like, storyline that was supposed to be canon at one point in time.
Sure, yeah.
So I don't know if that's the case. I never played that game, but I always wanted to.
I never played it either, yeah. So
now, I played the crap out of the Atari Ghostbusters game.
Okay.
So, but okay. So yeah, so we're both pretty skeptical.
Yeah.
Like, I probably have more optimism for it than you, it sounds like.
Yes.
All right. So now, let's get into our main event here.
Yes.
Of Ghostbusters 2016.
Yes.
I don't know if there has been a movie that was more, I believe the word is panned at its release.
Yeah.
Than this movie was.
Yeah.
Because I definitely did not see it because I had very little interest in it because it was like, so wait, you're going to put like Bill Murray and other people in the movie, but you're not going to acknowledge the first one. Why not build off that universe and have a new recruit class, have a friend, like,
yes,
so many ways that you could tie it all together.
The cameos in the cameos with those guys were terrible.
Yes.
I'm surprised any of them signed on for it.
It seems like Bill Murray's super particular about what he does.
Yeah.
It's weird to me that he did that.
Yes.
But maybe he was
the
just
only
like,
thing
that's fine.
The only thing I can think of, like, Dan Aykroyd a favor, and Dan Aykroyd is like, hey, won't you be part of this movie or
something?
I don't know.
But yeah, so the intro, I got a note here. Like, I really like the intro for it, where the guy's doing like the haunted tour, basically of the thing.
You mean Gabe from The Office?
Is that who that is?
Yes.
I couldn't
and he
figure out.
He was playing Gabe from The Office. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised The Office didn't sue them for taking. I mean, he's a character from The Office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, like, I like that opening.
Yeah.
Like where he ended up in the basement and all that stuff. It felt very much like kind of like the first Ghostbusters in the library, like for the intro. So totally fine.
So I agree with that. So the opening was neat, but then like when they showed that character again, nothing happened to him. I guess other than him just being really, really scared.
Well, apparently he soiled himself.
yeah. Because
right.
they made that point.
I thought he was going to be possessed or something.
Sure.
So I was wondering like how he escaped. I kept expecting him to be a plot point later on.
Oh no.
And that never happened. But either way, that's fine. Like, I'm okay with that. And then we go to basically I don't know what that'd be, the Vinkman-esque style character.
Yeah.
For her. I don't remember a lot of the characters' names, so I'm going to
I don't either.
use adjectives around that.
Yeah.
But so like the whole, I just want to kind of skip some of the beginning because I thought it was terrible.
It was terrible. It was
so she's set up where she's kind of awkward around people or something, I guess is what they're going for. There's a few little things here and there that are kind of funny. She ends up co-published a book with the other girl, and that was never supposed to see the light of day, I guess, but it got published, so now she's in job of losing her offer for tenure at the university where she's...
For some reason, I didn't understand why she was in jeopardy of losing that.
Well, because if she's supposed to be this respected scientist, essentially, and they're talking about ghosts being real, which they nailed the point as much as they possibly could without me getting sick, that yes, people don't believe in ghosts in this universe. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to beat me anymore. Please. Please stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she ends up like going and talking to her, who has the Egon equivalent with her as the scientist. There's a lot of just like, it felt like forced jokes to me.
Yes.
And like the crude humor.
I agree with that.
And I'm not a fan in any movie of the crude humor most of the time. Occasionally there'll be something where it'll get me, like it's just delivered just right, or it's just the setup to everything just works really well, where I will genuinely laugh at it.
Yeah.
Not to say there were definitely some stuff like throughout this middle intro almost that I thought was funny. Like I definitely laughed. There were some things I found entertaining, but it felt like the characters, like after seeing the end of the movie, it feels like this scene was shot first, and everybody was overacting their character or something.
Okay.
Like they were like really laying it on thick, or they did it after the fact and were laying it on thick. I don't know what it was, but like as the movie goes on, the characters kind of settle down.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
No, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, because
or have you ever met like a new person like in a big group, and they just want everyone to know all about them, so they're like super hyper.
Yes.
And they're just going out of their way to tell all their stories, and then once they get that out of their system, it's like, okay, that's just a normal guy who is a little bit awkward.
There might be some truth to that because it seems like the characters were like look at I mean there's like
look at me.
Then like the middle of the movie I would say is a lot better because it seems like they were just toned down a lot.
Yeah, it's like instead of being at like 12 or 13, it was like a 5, 5 to 8, the occasional spike up.
Normal people, how normal people would react.
Well, I mean, and they are in like a fantastic situation, so I'm going to understand some of the overreacting. Like what I would consider overreacting. That might have been the intent for the portrayal. But yeah, it just felt like that first part, once you get to, so they show up at the mansion, and they actually see the ghost and everything, and like, because they've kind of been like at odds because the two had the falling out. So that's some of it where you get like the tension and stuff. Yeah. So maybe they were trying to play that up, and it just did come across to me the right way. But once the ghost shows up and vomits all over them, like I think the movie should have started there and eliminate all that other stuff.
Agreed.
Let's kind of wonder about like allude to the falling out that they had over the book, and you can piece that in later or save it for later on or something. But I thought like at that point the movie definitely got better. Sure. Because it's 2 hours and 13 minutes. My wife was watching it with me, and we saw the time before we started it. I was like, are you kidding? How is this going to be 2 hours?
That's my main complaint about this movie. It's way too long for what it is.
Yeah, and if you eliminate what I just said,
that
helps a ton.
Well, and then they didn't know how to end it either. It just seemed like they just dragged.
Yeah, there were definitely different endings.
I feel like Lord of the Rings there towards the end.
So, general plot line was there's the super weirdo dude who's, I don't know what you would even call, he's like a cult leader. Yeah. Well, actually, he'd be like the assistant to a cult leader, I feel like. Like the guy who's so sold out to whatever they're pushing, he's going to do anything. Like, but he was actually like the main guy. Like, if that makes any sense. Like, he's I'm on board with this no matter what. He'd be like a Sylvanas supporter.
Yeah, he was just a weird character. I couldn't get into him.
Right. Well, I think he was supposed to be awkward. But
he achieved it because...
where he just didn't like people for whatever reason. And I don't know if they were going like the incel route where he just hated all people or hated, he had mentioned like he had never known like the kindness of people. Like they just were never nice to him. But it's largely probably because he was a weirdo.
Sure,
But yeah, so he's like created these devices that charge like the ley line to allow ghosts to cross over basically. Yeah. So there's like back and forth. Like the whole time like the scientist, I cannot remember her name. And it's driving me crazy. But she has, like, even the Egon-style haircut, like, where it's the kind of weird haircut style.
Yeah.
She's constantly, like, tinkering with stuff and building stuff, which was, I thought, good because, like, by the end, it also felt like they wanted a video game out of that, where you'd be getting equipment upgrades and stuff.
Yeah.
That obviously never happened because the movie did not do very well.
Yes.
But it made sense that as they were pulling out all these other gadgets and stuff, they either covered them or they were like, yeah, she is constantly building stuff. So you're like, oh, yeah, she just built something. That's fine. Yeah. Like, it didn't... You're like, well, where did that come from? Like, there was no question. It was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Whether or not I believe that's how that should work, they at least tried to explain stuff.
Another issue I had with it was... So they go to the firehouse, and they're like, okay, well, all right, cool, they're going to get the firehouse. They go, no. They go to a Chinese restaurant.
Well, because the cost of a firehouse in New York is an insane...
Yeah, but the original... Now, I understand it was back in the 80s, and that probably was based off of the pricing from back then. But the original firehouse was this run-down piece of crap type thing.
But it's still, for that kind of real estate...
Yeah.
I was okay with it, because you always see these posts like, oh, could the people in the Big Bang Theory actually afford these houses? And it's like, well, Leonard and Sheldon could because they're freaking scientists at the university.
Sure.
Penny is living in the same building as a waitress at Cheesecake Factory or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And, like, you always see, like, all these things. So them actually bringing up, like, what the actual cost would be, I was okay with it. That didn't bother me.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Like, it made sense because they don't have any money at this point. So I was okay with it.
Sure, but they have money to make gadgets.
Well, they stole most of that stuff. And then, like, because they even had in the line where she was, like, digging through the trash to get stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, I
right.
felt that I was okay with it. It didn't bother me.
Yeah.
So, let's see. So we're just going to kind of skip forward, I guess.
Yeah, because there's a lot of it.
Because there's Thor. Thor's there as the worst secretary on Earth.
His character was terrible until he becomes the Ghost. The secretary part of Thor is Chris Hemsworth.
If anyone is as old as us and hasn't seen this movie,
yeah.
Do you remember Murphy Brown?
Yes.
Combine all her horrible secretaries into one, and they still would pale in comparison to
well, his
Hemsworth's character.
I understand his character was supposed to be dumb.
Yeah, but it was so
I get
over
it.
the
But
top.
it was so I've never met someone that dumb.
Yes.
Especially when there's like that one part where the phone's ringing, and I guess in the aquarium there's an actual phone in there.
Yes.
And they're like, you're going to answer that phone? He's like, okay, it's in the aquarium. I'm like, who would say that?
I thought that one was funny because I could actually see someone be like looking, like not realizing there's a phone next to him.
Yeah.
And be like, well, it's in the aquarium. Like, I was like, that particular line was the one that I was actually like, I'll excuse that one.
Yeah.
But there was so much like over the top. Now, I don't know. So one of the other things, when this movie was coming out, there was a lot of, I would have to assume the male population didn't like it because it was like man bashing or something.
I guess.
And I didn't
see any of that.
I didn't really. There was a couple jokes here and there.
I mean, unless
thought it made unless
you think the Chris Hemsworth character was them bashing men,
right?
Which I don't think they were.
The only way that I could see that is because there's been an awful lot of movies that have the attractive female secretary.
Okay,
and they basically, in some way or another, they abuse that character, or that character has a negative portrayal.
Sure.
So maybe they took that over the top to make a point.
Okay, yeah.
Whatever, that's fine. Like doesn't bother me.
I'm not seeing that, but sure, I guess.
I'm trying to wrap my around because this movie had more hate than
they did.
Like so much hate. Like people were going after the actresses.
Conspiracy theory people would say it was actually the movie people actually
drumming
it up because they know the movie's going to be bad,
and to blame it on that.
Which it makes sense to me that the company would do that. They're like, oh man, this is not going to be good. I don't know.
The thing is, like, just from the movie, there's a good movie in there. Like,
Sure.
I felt like I was watching two movies.
Yeah,
I was watching the scary movie style parody of Ghostbusters,
yes,
and then I was watching a Ghostbusters movie, like in the Ghostbusters universe, but it was just mashed together in this weird way.
Yeah,
because I think you could take that movie and edit out stuff and make a very enjoyable movie out of it.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
Like, because I didn't I'm not going to watch the movie again. I don't need to.
Yeah.
But I thought I was going to hate this, and honestly, for the first 30 minutes, I was like,
yes.
Like I looked at my life and I was like, if a giant meteor were coming, I wouldn't move right now because it would end this. But once you get past the ghost vomit on person, that was the cutoff for me where I started to be like, okay, this is getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like things are toned down, or like people are hitting their stride with it or something.
I think if you would have just made them like them, those females or the new Ghostbusters, we'll say, if they would have been like a successor to the old guys,
even just a quick throwaway reference, be like, "Oh, we're setting you guys up." Not even if it was not in New York.
And you know what? If you don't want to focus on those guys, that's fine. Just make a little reference about it, and then move on from it.
Well, you could have had Bill Murray at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like at some point, how they get into it, if they're just like, "Hey, we're into," like he shows up like, "Hey, we've heard that you guys are really into this."
Yeah.
And like gives them like a booklet or a like something corny, but
It would have been a much better starting point than what they had.
Kind of like a literal handoff or something. Or maybe they inherit the firehouse. And like that would have made you happy. Since that was a breaking point for you, apparently. But I can come up with so many ways to just something like a small nod to it, and not make it its own thing for it feels like no reason.
Yeah, it seems like they didn't know how to start the movie. The middle was fine, and then the end they didn't know how to end it either.
Yeah. Well, so we get to Chris Hemsworth gets possessed by the cult dude. I'm just gonna call him the cult guy.
Yeah.
Gets possessed by that guy once he succeed.
What's his name? Damien.
I can't remember.
Django.
It was Django Fett prior to. Yeah, so he basically kills himself, but he becomes a ghost, and then he's messing with everybody. There's a few cool scenes where he makes slime come out of people, stuff like that. But yeah, he possesses Chris Hemsworth, and now they fast forward to the ultimate goal where they're in the big building with the beam to the netherworld. All the ghosts are coming in.
Shoot, you missed the dance number.
No, I was getting to that. That's part of it.
Yeah.
So all the police, the FBI show up, and he possesses everybody and goes into this dancing routine. And the character that he was portraying up until then, nothing about it seemed like he would be into dance in any way.
Yes.
And now it could be that was a quirk of his. He was into that kind of stuff. But it seems like they could have had a scene, maybe I missed it, where when he's in his boy, I need to cut that out. You're going to hear an edit when we go into here.
This movie irritates me so much at it.
Yeah, so he's when he's in his boiler room, frickin' Mankind.
Yeah.
If he would be doing a dance or something, and they call him on the phone, hey, you weirdo, stop it. That would have been oh, he's into that. That way he's so good at dancing.
But there's 3 other dance routines in this movie, and I didn't understand it.
Wait, where were the other dance routines?
Where Jenny McCarthy and I don't know the other chick's name. They start dancing, doing her
where she's doing with the fire and the weird stuff. Yeah, that was kind of out of place too.
And then like you said, the weird hair girl starts dancing to that one song.
Yeah, she lights everything on fire.
I'm just what? I mean, it didn't do anything to the story.
Right, I mean, it was just a fun.
I don't know.
It was to show quirkiness.
And then
it felt very forced. I forgot about that one.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, Bill Murray gets thrown out the window. That's backing up. Yeah, so he possesses everybody, takes over, makes them dance. It just made no sense.
Yeah.
They show up. There's hundreds of ghosts that they fight. But I thought that was pretty cool. Because they were using all the different weapons and stuff like that. They eventually stop it.
They jobbed Slimer. Now, I understand maybe it's because I watched the Ghostbusters cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And Slimer was their pet. But in the movies, for whatever reason, Slimer he's nothing.
Yes.
I don't know.
That's weird too. That is Slimer in this one, for sure.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be the crossover that makes us happy? As far as
I guess.
Connecting universes, maybe? I don't know. So
the
big bad guy turns
the Stay Puft balloons in there too.
Right. So yeah, there's little nods to it, but it's just
which I didn't understand that. So that didn't make sense to me either. Why is there ghost balloons?
Well, I think those were all haunted somehow.
Okay.
The ghosts of Thanksgiving parade past, maybe.
Okay, is that where they're going with that?
I honestly, once it gets into you're summoning that many kinds of ghosts and stuff,
sure.
It never occurred to me to be that's weird that there's Ghost Parade.
Yeah.
It never occurred to me. That was not something that didn't bother me.
The really long-legged ghost.
Yeah, the ringmaster style.
The
ringmaster of the circus.
Not
ICP. Any kind of reference that could be to ICP now from the last episode, I feel I have to justify that's not why I'm making the reference.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he turns into the ghost from the logo, which I thought was kind of neat. Made it look pretty scary.
Yeah.
And they stop him. They fall into a portal. They save the person from the portal.
She finds the biggest cable
ever.
Because she's traveling in this portal forever.
Right. Yeah. That I don't know.
And then the movie just goes on, and on, and I was like, okay, end this already, please.
Right. Well, and then did you see the credit scene? Did you stick around for that?
No, because I turned it off.
So, because they have the firehouse now.
Yeah.
But there's one where they're all sitting around, and the one chick is listening to like a recording. I guess they're listening for something. They're like, she's like, wait, that's weird. And she's like rewinding, and they come over like, what was that? And she's like, I don't know. It just says Zool over and over.
Okay.
Which was like, okay, well, that's neat. So they had, at some point, they had the intentions to do a follow-up, probably. Yeah. Or they were putting that there if they wanted to.
Okay.
To actually have Zool show up.
Yeah.
But, again, you know what would have been really good?
Yeah.
Is if it was a continuation from the other universe.
Yes.
And we all knew, like, Zool was known as a big bad, like, you know, like a legitimate thing that they were going to have, like, a real problem with. Like,
sure.
Also, everybody would have known about Ghost if you nod to the other one, and I don't have to be bombarded with, yes, I get it, these people don't believe in ghosts now.
Maybe it's because I've been watching clips of Infinite Crisis, the Arrow thing.
Yeah.
Maybe they were going to do like a parallel universe where there's another universe, another Earth, where they were going to open it to. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, that could play in with like Bill Murray being the skeptic.
Yeah.
But then you kill him off. Spoiler. If it didn't give it away when I said he gets thrown out the window, and the reason I intentionally just kind of randomly threw that in is because it feels a random decision. Like, you know what? We can't just have this character leave. He needs to die.
It was very, and the Homeland Security and the mayor people, they are terrible. They removed them completely from the thing because they serve no purpose whatsoever other than to annoy me while I was watching it.
Yeah, there's definitely stuff to dislike.
Yeah.
I mean, all in all, when I look at other movies I've seen, though...
I've definitely seen a lot worse.
It's not, like...
It's not as bad as everyone made it out to be.
If there had never been a Ghostbusters movie, I don't think this movie would be popular at all.
Yeah.
But it would have been like, oh, this is a fun movie to go see.
Yeah.
And that would have been all it is. Because they made the decision to use the name Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
They already were going on an uphill battle. Somehow them all being women became a bigger deal than probably should have been.
For whatever reason, yeah.
Right. And I mean, I will be critical at times of when you're just changing stuff up for no reason.
Yeah.
But when you're just having like people recruited into situations, that's fine. Like,
yeah.
If you're just like, if you don't have a good reason for it, sometimes I'm going to like, I want an explanation as to what your decision is, why to change something that's working. But with this, I don't think that falls into that at all. Like, I kind of don't care, but it was like, why not? I just couldn't get over, why not have them be related to the first one? Like, I just can't get that out of my mind. It's like, why reboot this?
No, I was thinking the same thing.
Like, yeah. So, all right. So, do you want to end it? Because we are super long. Or we can talk about Mandalorian.
We can make it a 1 hour and 30-minute show. So we can talk a little bit about
Mandalorian Part 6.
Part 6.
This would be the time to tune out if you don't want spoilers for that.
Or don't.
Yes. So, what was your overall opinion of this episode?
I liked it.
I enjoyed it. So, I thought it was awesome that Michael P.S. Hayes was in this movie.
Who is that guy? So who is that character? I have
the big dude that he meets who's like as shady as possible with the beard.
Yeah, so that's the guy from Sons of Anarchy.
I didn't watch that show.
Yeah.
But I was like, I've seen that guy in other stuff. But I was looking at it, I was like, he looks kind of like a shorter, like real heavy Michael P.S. Hayes. So I just, like, in my mind, I was imagining him being like one of the Fabulous Freebirds from pro wrestling. Like, that's what he did. Like, him and Mando were a tag team.
Okay.
So I had that in my mind. But so as soon as he got off the ship and talked to that guy in this episode, I was like, oh, he's actually got like a buddy. And then, like, a minute later, I looked at my wife and I was like, oh, this dude is going to betray him by the end of the episode.
Sure.
And then he introduced him to the bald guy, like, with the guns. And I was like, Imperial. He might betray him by the end of this scene.
The Imperial
sharpshooter. I enjoyed I wasn't a stormtrooper.
Yeah, because he's like, he was a sharpshooter for,
or like the best marksman, or
whatever.
He's like,
Mando's like, that ain't saying much. Yeah,
and he was like, I was a sharpshooter, not a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Like, even the Empire knew that that was a thing.
Yes.
But yeah, so they go around and introduce to the cast of crew.
Yeah.
You had the demon dude.
Yeah.
Who was the muscle, apparently.
Yes.
But he made fun of Mando for being smaller, but he was only like 6 inches taller and not really that much bigger.
Yeah.
Now, some of the stuff you see him do, it's like, okay, yeah, this guy's a beast as
Yes.
it goes on.
Yes.
And then they had the chick, I don't know what the species is, with like the twin tail horn, but she seemed like a demon character, like legitimate.
Yes.
Like with the teeth and like the eye expressions and everything. Like, she came across very sinister.
Very, very stalkerish, too.
Yeah. And then they had the droid.
Yeah.
And I thought the droid was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because he was like... Basically, they needed Mando's ship because it doesn't show up on radar, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's...
what it is. Like, it doesn't exist.
Custom made for
or
that,
it's so old or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they needed that.
So,
but they needed the droid to fly it. But he's like, as a droid, basically everything about me is better than a human.
Yeah.
And we get more information that Mando hates droids way more than we realized.
Yes.
And it makes me assume that they killed his family.
Yeah.
Right? Like 100% at this point.
Sure, yeah.
Like, that's the only thing I can
and also this episode kind of gives you a little bit of an insight that Mando... At one point, it sounds like he was kind of a despicable person.
Yes.
Yeah,
based on the company he was keeping.
Yes.
And that seemed like a routine for him. So, they do this thing, though, where they're breaking into the prison to break somebody out.
Yeah.
And...
the rebel prison.
Yeah. Which is interesting to think about. But it's supposedly a ship manned by all droids. So I guess that's why he agrees to do it or something. But they basically, got to jam the signal or whatever.
Now, I didn't... Now, was the ship going somewhere, or are they just floating in space?
That I didn't catch.
Yeah,
I would assume they were probably going somewhere, but maybe they just float them out there. Who knows?
Yeah.
But either way, so they eventually it's a heist show at this point.
Yeah,
where they break into the ship. 4 of them are going there. They're bullies basically. The 3 people that he's now teamed up with, plus the droid back in the ship, are bullies. Like, they were the most unlikable characters that I've come across in a show in a long time.
Yeah, and to the point where, you know what? If Mando killed him right now, even though he's supposed to be the good guy, I don't think anybody would fault him because
they found Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
and you knew that they were not going to be nice to him. It was like bullying 101. Mm-hmm. Vince McMahon could take lessons for building a heel.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I did not like these guys.
Uh-huh.
I wanted them to die.
Yeah.
100%. And they just made it worse. It didn't get better. Sometimes you'll get that redeeming trait in a character.
Yeah.
Where you're like, well, maybe not, where they want you to be conflicted. Never happened. They were just foot on the gas.
Yeah.
So they encounter a bunch of droids and they're outgunned and they're like, oh, where's the Mandalorian? He's supposed to be awesome. And he comes around behind them and he just destroys these droids and takes them out.
Yeah.
And you can tell they're all impressed, but then they decide to not, give him any compliment or rethink anything.
Yeah.
They just decide that, I'm assuming mentally they're like, show off.
Sure.
Something like that.
Continue to be despicable. You just don't like them.
Yeah. That could have been a moment where they're like, oh, maybe you're not so bad. Or you could, they could trick you a little bit into what's coming. But, you knew from 2 minutes into the episode what was going to be going down on this episode. So they eventually get to the control room, but it turns out that there's actually a guy in it, flying it. So Mando's unhappy.
Yeah, because
this guy... Go ahead, sorry.
Well, no, I mean, he was making... Mando... He was trying not to show that he didn't want to kill innocent people.
Yeah.
But he was kind of playing it off hey, we were supposed to be killing droids, and I don't want this much heat on me, type thing.
Right.
So,
well, the weird thing about it is, that dude was Johnny Gunslinger Hero, though, that they stumbled upon.
Yeah.
Because he was not backing down. It's
yes.
Dude, it's all right. No one's going to fault you for it at this point.
But you knew those characters were going to kill him, regardless.
Yes, but I mean, he did not make it any easier.
No,
but I just thought it was weird that that is one of the bravest characters that I've seen in a show.
Yeah.
Where he's standing up to all those guys. But yeah, so Mando's trying to not get him to kill him. They're in an impasse. They're doing the standoff where everybody's got guns and stuff pointed at each other. And then the chick who's like just sitting there, I guess knives are her specialty. Or whatever they call them in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Knivs.
Knivs.
She's a Kniv specialist.
Yes.
And she kills him with that, but he hits this tracker device.
Yeah, he has a kill switch, basically, that brings... Well, yeah, that lets the rebels know that something's happening.
The New Republic, I believe, is they're not rebels anymore.
Sorry.
They're in charge. So, but yeah, so they're now on a clock, as the droid tells them.
Yeah.
So we'll just skip to... They finally get to the dude that they're there to break out. It turns out to be the one chick's brother.
Yeah.
But he also makes a reference to Mando where he's like, who would have thought that the guy that I abandoned would be coming to rescue me or something?
And you would think that you kind of feel sorry for the guy. No. He's just as despicable as the rest of the crew.
Immediately.
Yes.
Like, he is immediately, you can tell, like, based on... Like, the way he moved, even. Like,
yes.
Everything about him is like, this is a villain.
Yes.
100% that I do not like. And then, I didn't see it coming until they walked out.
Yeah.
Mando gets kicked into the cell and locked in there.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, of course he did.
Uh-huh.
But, so they're trying to get out. He breaks out, like, eventually he breaks out of the prison, no surprise. He does... Instead of, like, grabbing the dude, pulling him to the door, and using their hand to open it, he rips the droid's arm off, basically.
Yeah.
Uses their little key mechanism to get out. Then he gets to the control room. So now we're in a panic room situation
Yes.
with Mando controlling everything.
Yeah.
He divides them up, divide and conquer.
Uh-huh.
The big dude, he shuts a couple doors on him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that guy's dead. I kind of did, because, like, he shuts the one door on him, and he, like, basically, he squats it up.
Yeah.
And he's just looking at him. And then Mando just, like, because I was like, oh, is he going to have to shoot him, or what's he going to do? And he just hits another switch, and
slams it right.
It's over.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, man. Okay, so then what? Next, he went to the knife chick.
He fought the Kniff chick.
The
yeah.
Knife.
The Knife,
yeah. I mean, that's just a fight. He wins.
Yeah.
You don't really see what happens with it.
Yeah, you don't.
So,
then,
but I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
And then it kind of becomes like a horror film.
Yeah, I thought that was good. I like the strobe light effect where he sneaks up behind the guy but still goes around him.
Yeah.
And you don't see what happens to the bald guy.
Uh-huh.
Like that, you just don't know.
Yeah.
And
well,
then,
you do know at the end, but...
Well, right, but at this point, like, you just assume, like, oh, yeah, he got the drop on him for sure.
Yeah.
So... It gets to, let's see. The
guy
they were rescuing.
The
heist
Bounty. Guy,
yeah, and there's something going on with that. And he basically knows Mando's not going to kill him because he needs the bounty. Yeah. Because for whatever, like, he still needs bounty to work for money to live, I guess, is what they're going with. So you're kind of not sure, but the droid that's been on the ship the whole time has been hunting Baby Yoda.
But Baby Yoda's kind of, like, provoked him to a point, too. Like, because he's the one that kind of gets out of his little cage and he kind of, like, looks at him, whatever.
Yeah, well, and plus that guy was able to read, like, the message that had been sent. So he knows something's up with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's been hunting Baby Yoda. Not quite Home Alone fashion, but... Like, he finally gets
I like
the
that
drop
you used
on
the
him.
Home Alone.
Yes. Like, Baby Yoda
Baby Yoda has marbles. He gets a little BB gun,
yeah, so he's about to blast Yoda, I guess.
And Yoda starts using
the Force.
The Force, I guess.
And then all of a sudden, the droid just explodes. Well, sparks out, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's because Mando's there.
But I liked how Yoda looks at it in his hand and is like, what, did I do that?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I imagine he'll eventually start using the Force. I'm assuming the little knob that he keeps playing with, that he's going to start, like, floating that around and stuff before long.
It could be, yeah.
That'd be my guess. But, yeah, so he has that guy. And then you see the other three, they're actually, like, locked up in the prison. Like, he didn't kill them.
Yeah.
I was let down.
Yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't have killed those people because they're despicable, but...
And then, let's see. So they get back to the ship, finally. So I didn't know if he killed the guy, the bounty, or not at this point.
Yes.
But Bounty's there, so he didn't kill that guy either.
Yeah.
I guess he's gone soft. Comes out, they make he's like, "Where's the others?" He's like, "No questions asked."
Well, he didn't
That's
kill
the
him
deal.
because he needed them alive because he wouldn't have got his money.
Well, no, for the guy for the bounty, yes, but
Oh.
the other three,
Gotcha,
they
yeah.
weren't part of it. They were just to get the job done.
That's true. Yeah.
So that guy, his impression is that they're dead.
Yes.
They're really just locked up forever. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there is there's a conversation between them. He gets paid, and then he leaves. And as he's leaving, the one dude from, what was it, Sons of Anarchy, you said?
Sons of Anarchy, yeah.
He's like, kill him.
Yeah.
And they're getting ready to launch a thing, and like they start hearing this beeping.
Yeah.
And
Mando put the kill switch in the guy.
yeah, it was basically like summoning the New Republic.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, X-Wings come out of hyperspace.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
I like that touch to it.
Yeah.
I was curious, though, for a moment, when he said kill him, and the dude was standing there in front of like the port.
Yeah.
The way that ship was coming up and turned into him and his spatial thing,
Oh,
I
yeah.
almost thought that they were going to blast that guy. And it was
True.
going to turn out that the other guy actually was a good guy still, like,
Sort of, yeah.
kind of shady, but still, but no, that wasn't what was going to
No.
happen at all.
No.
So, and then he explains to Baby Yoda that he told him it was a bad idea, they shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But
And they
so-
rode off into the sunset.
yeah, so like really not a lot happened in the episode.
It was still good, though.
But
I
it
enjoyed
was
it.
a good story. I enjoyed it. So
I thought it was funny, one of the complaints with the on Twitter. The guy was like, did anybody else feel like that they were on a studio set?
they probably were.
This one guy wrote, he's like, it's not a real spaceship, right?
That feels like the. And I know what that guy kind of might mean, but
maybe,
we
yeah.
know it's not real, right? Like
Maybe he thought Star Wars. Maybe he thinks it's real.
I don't understand some complaints that people have about stuff.
Yeah.
Like the Ghostbusters movie, I don't think it was good, but
Yeah.
it's watchable. Like it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Now if like you have like your own proton pack, like and you cosplay as like Ghostbusters with like authentic movie stuff,
Yeah.
I can see where that's going to be offensive to you. What your perception of what they've done
Sure.
to Ghostbusters is.
Yeah.
But for just a movie to watch, for something to do,
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad.
No.
So, all right. So I think we're good, right?
Yeah.
We got that in. We went as long as possible.
Yes.
We'll just sit here for another 4 minutes, and then I'll have to remember to go back to 115 and cancel out. I think the first time any of us has dropped an F-bomb on
It's
the show.
true.
But I just couldn't. One shot of the dude in the boiler room dancing, that's all it needed. All right, so we got our goose effect now.
Yeah.
All right, live life like a goose.
Yes.
The end.
The end.
It's actually the outdoors.
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting here staring at it. Now it's automated.
Yeah.
This is bonus content. Anyone who is insane, stuck around for this long.
Yeah. We are the 620 week.